On everyone. So going into this season, there was a lot of excitement, right? The Lakers made some really great signings this year. We got some size, some versatility. Yeah, it was a lot of one-dimensional guys, but it was like, man, all the pieces, around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, this team definitely can make some noise. This team could definitely be a contender. And then we got off to the season. And, it was a little shaky, right? Trying to feel some stuff out, had some key injuries, especially early on. We've been dealing with injuries basically the entire season, especially to our defensive players, right? Jared Vanderbilt specifically has been in and out. Gabe Vincent's only played 5 games. Cam Reddish has kind of been in and out on several occasions. Now Max Christie's out. We've lost Rui at times, right? We've had these just struggles with just guys staying healthy throughout. Outside of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves, knock on wood. Hopefully that continues to be a trend as we go forward. But they also, as much as there was the excitement and winning the in-season tournament, right? And we're 5 games over 500. It's been more disappointment, right? This is a team that, even despite the injuries, we still should be in a better place than the 9th seed in the Western Conference and only 2 games over 500. We've gone backwards since winning the in-season tournament. Now, again, I think it is several factors. I think there are multiple things involved, but a lot of it has just been the team not performing up to task. We've seen what this team is capable of against the top teams in the league. And when they show up and they play their game, they can beat anybody. And the real question that's kind of, I see going around is, are the Lakers a real threat? Are they a real contender, right? Now, personally, from what we've seen with the inconsistencies, I wouldn't label them a true contender, right? I believe that they are talented enough. I have said repeatedly, I will take my chances. There is not a team in the league that I look at and go, there is no way the Lakers beat them in a 7-game series. Does that mean that they would beat them? No, right? But there's no team that I'm like, oh man, the Lakers have no shot against. The only team that truly worries me is the Denver Nuggets, because the Denver Nuggets just seem to have our number. Every game goes the exact same way. They basically build a lead, maintain, Lakers make their push. It looks like it's competitive, or looks like the Lakers are about to run away with it, and then boom, Denver goes, watch what a real contender can do, and they just pull away. And it's frustrating, right? But outside of that, I'll take my chances against anybody. I mean, we've beaten pretty much everybody else. And, I mean, we've even beaten Boston without LeBron and AD. So, again, I will take my chances. Is this the team that I would bet on to win the championship? No. But would anyone be surprised if they won the championship? I don't believe so. Even somebody that is a diehard Laker hater and just, despises the Lakers and thinks that they are the worst team ever, if they won the championship, they wouldn't be surprised, right? Because at the end of the day, they do have talent. They do have a guy named LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And look, there's even executives. Dave McMillan did a report where he said at least one executive from the Western Conference rival isn't. I don't want any piece of them in the playoffs, the executive said. Because you're going up against LeBron James and Anthony Davis in a 7-game series. You're going up against LeBron James more than anything in a 7-game series. And yes, LeBron isn't the guy that he once was. Still absolutely incredible, right? I mean, the dude just walks into a 25, 8, and 8 game. But he doesn't have that power to control every aspect and basically completely dictate a game by himself anymore. He just doesn't have that impact, but he's still incredible. And Anthony Davis is probably the best two-way player in the league this year. Defensively, he has been the best defense player, and he is putting on a display. He's been excellent for the Lakers this season. And if the Lakers were in a better position, Anthony Davis might be in the MVP conversations. Seriously, he's been that good this year. Because, again, it's both sides of the basketball, right? You look at a guy like Joel Embiid, he's having a historic offensive numbers, but where's the defense, right? And also Anthony Davis is going to play, or looks like it's going to play enough games to where he'd actually qualify for some of those things. So I'd take some guys out of the run-in. But regardless, which team has beaten these two healthy? The only time that they have been truly healthy, the Lakers were number 1 in the West, ran through the league, and won the championship, right? And then the following year, it looked like they were going to go back-to-back. They're up 2-1. against the Phoenix Suns. They are on pace, about to go 3-1. It looks like Phoenix has no answer for the Lakers, and then Anthony Davis gets hurt. And there goes that hope. And then it's no playoffs, and then we get in there, and then with LeBron James needing foot surgery, Anthony Davis not even supposed to be playing because he has a foot injury, and D'Angelo Russell dealing with a foot injury and missed time before, still got to the conference finals. What does that look like if LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy? Because LeBron just didn't have it in the postseason, right? He still had solid numbers, solid stats, but outside of game 4 where it was basically too late, like LeBron wasn't the same. And even that game, right? He was really like exerting himself. But you get these two healthy with the team and the roster that we have. Again, I will take my chances. There's no way you don't look at this team and go, they at least have a puncher's chance. Again, matchups are a big thing. Things are important, right? Let's say the Lakers, which, look, the Lakers have to get to the playoffs first, right? That's something that's big. That's something that's important, right? Do I believe that if they get to the playoffs, they have a chance? Absolutely. But they have to get to the playoffs. And if they finish as the 9th or 10th seed, I don't have a ton of faith in them getting to the playoffs because, again, yes, can they win a 7-game series? Absolutely. But when you're talking about having to win 2 games just to get to the postseason in a 1-game elimination, anything can happen, right? Like, let's say the Lakers have to play the Warriors in the first round. Yes, the Lakers, we just beat them in the postseason last year. We beat them the most recent regular season game. We're too big. We're too everything for the Warriors. But is it possible that Steph Curry just has an insane game? Klay Thompson turns back the clock for 1 game. Andrew Wiggins looks like the Andrew Wiggins for the title run for 1 game. And the Warriors just shoot the lights out and beat the Lakers in 1 game? Absolutely, that's a possibility. Let's say you beat the Warriors. And then right now, let's say you have to play the Mavericks or the Kings. Both of those teams, you don't think that, let's say you play the Mavs. You don't think that Luka can have some historic like 65-point game and they just shoot the lights out and win 1 game? Absolutely. That's the problem. Now, if it's a 7-game series, the Lakers, I believe, beat the Warriors in 7 games. A 7-game series, I think the Lakers beat the Mavericks in a 7-game series. But in a 1-game sample size, anything can happen, right? So they have to, bare minimum, get into that 7th, 8th spot. If they do get into the 6th spot, then I do believe that they now have a real chance. Now, again, obviously matchups happen. If they play the Nuggets in the first round, again, I'm not saying they can't beat the Nuggets, but I would actually prefer to play the Nuggets in later rounds once this team kind of gets through their inconsistency. Like once they find their groove, right? Like ideally, you hope that the Thunder end up with the 3 seed. And then that way you're the 6th seed and then you play the Thunder in the first round. And now you're in a position to where it's like, I think the Lakers, even if they have like some inconsistencies and they're trying to work some stuff out, I believe that they could beat the Thunder in a 7-game series personally. And so that's kind of your hope. The Clippers, I just think if they're healthy, there's not really much margin for error. Although, what does James Harden and Paul George look like? That's a real possibility. Timberwolves, I think you could beat the Timberwolves, right? But I think that they'll probably, just the way things are shaping up, probably get the 1 seed. So if you can play, again, matchups, my whole point is matchups are important, right? Matchups are key. But you get these 2 into the postseason. Look, we've seen this team lock down. We've seen what this team can do when they take games serious. And, this is one of the reasons why I don't like, completely punting games in the regular season. I know some of the veteran teams, I know some teams in general, they just kind of like, look at a team like Miami. Like, they don't really care about the regular season. Just get us in and we'll be in the conference finals or the finals, right? Like, you see stuff like that. But, and I even said going into the season, like when people asked and I made videos about it, I said that I thought the Lakers would be somewhere in like the 3 to 5 range. But I thought at worst they'd finish as the 6th seed. Just because I thought, LeBron James and Anthony Davis would miss a couple games, which surprisingly they haven't, again, knock on wood. I thought, they'd be trying to figure some stuff out. And I thought that they would prioritize health over like, hey, we need to win these last few games or whatever, right? Like my whole thought process was, let's say the Lakers are the 5th seed, but they're like 3 games out from the 2 seed. Let's say it's a tight race. And the Lakers are like, okay, well, we could finish as the 5th seed and make sure everyone's healthy. We got that locked up. And kind of rest LeBron and AD these last few games, rest the key guys the last few games, because we're not going to run the risk of dropping down, so we're good. And instead of chasing and trying to push for that, if we get it, great, but let's not overexert ourselves to go get it. That was kind of my thought process, right? Because you're just trying to get LeBron James and Anthony Davis healthy come postseason, and you live with the result. But now, that's not the situation the Lakers are in, at least of now. Look, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Lakers win the rest of their games in February, which, they got to go at least 5-2, and then March just gets brutal. So we got to get these wins. But look, again, get the Lakers into the postseason. I'll take my chances. I will absolutely take my chances. Again, I wouldn't label them as a true contender. I wouldn't label them as a team that's a lock to win a chip. I wouldn't bet on them to win the championship, but no one would be surprised if you told me people, and all the excuses would come in. Well, it's LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Of course it's rigged. Blah, blah, blah. And you'd hear all the noise and everyone trying to discredit and all that stuff when all season they said we had no shot. You know how that goes. You know how that's going to play out if that is the end result, which I still fully believe we can, right? Until a different team is hoisting that Larry O'Brien or the Lakers are eliminated, right? I still believe. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you agree with me? Agree with my points? Do you disagree with me? Disagree with my points? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below.